Hello everyone, I hope you're having an excellent day today. I'm doing great. In this video, we're going to be tackling another 12-hour build challenge. And we've got a fantastic theme all lined up and ready to go. Dwarves won the poll for this video, and I'm pretty excited that they did. I can't seem to recall the last time I made a mock specifically for dwarves, but I am a big fan of their representation in pop culture, such as Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, Warhammer Fantasy, and LEGO's own take on the dwarves back in 2007 and 8. We've also seen a number of great mocks featuring dwarves in the LEGO community lately, and I will definitely be taking inspiration from those. Specifically, my friend Rich and his awesome Dwarven Castle Kingdom he brought to Atlanta BrickCon this year. The sand green color choice was phenomenal. I'm definitely going to attempt to follow in the pioneering footsteps of Rich with his bold color choices. And that's probably how we will begin this build project today, by collecting as much delicious sand green as possible. The plan for this creation is to make a Dwarven forge, an interior building or a cavern. One thing that I notice is that Dwarven culture is often portrayed as a shadow of its former glory, that there is a need or a desire to rebuild lost splendor. I am planning to subvert that narrative by portraying my scene at the height of Dwarven civilization, not a sign of ruin or dilapidation to be seen. Building a sturdy foundation for this Dwarven forge was the top priority, especially as I'm choosing to build from the bottom up. After multiple attempts at different techniques, I finally settled on a pattern that I liked. I seem to be using these pentagon-shaped tiles quite a bit lately. Definitely no connection to Next Nights, the theme they originally came from. The next part of the build that I wanted to get done sooner rather than later was the forge entrance itself, where the dwarves could access the extreme heat in order to heat the metal to a workable temperature. This is where I wanted to make some interesting sculptural builds. A lot of Dwarven architecture featured in media tends to have large statues or sculptures showing ancient dwarves in larger-than-life scale. Definitely want to try and capture that in LEGO. Thankfully, there's a bunch of sand green pieces that'll work perfectly for a giant dwarf head to make the mouth of the forge a literal mouth. On the right side of the build, I'm going to construct a small room or closet for the bellows, which would theoretically keep the forge burning super hot. After an hour of experimentation, I finally came up with a design that I liked. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do just fine. While only minutes have passed in the video, we've just passed the 5-hour mark in the build. These ornate pillars are a little bit tall for dwarves, but I think they're definitely the right style. And we want this wall to be the same height as the statue. I didn't even realize I had so many sand green slopes. It's great to have the right pieces to work with. The dwarves seem to have sharp, angular patterns in their architecture, so a rounded arch wouldn't look right. A few more slopes help decorate the top of this doorway nicely. This build will need significant amounts of volume behind and underneath the featured areas in order to contain the lights and the battery pack. I'm using quite a bit of light bluish gray to fill in the gaps between the more prominent sand green elements. I think dark bluish gray could have potentially been a better contrast, but I'm pretty much out of dark bluish gray pieces from different mocks like Warhammer, Halo, Life on Mars, so light gray it is. I can tell as we get further along in this build that if we try to accomplish everything that we have planned, we are not going to get it done in the 12-hour time limit. So I've decided to intentionally go into overtime in order to include all of those extra details that will make this MOC look perfect. One thing I was thinking about earlier but didn't think I had the time to do was to add glowing eyes to the big statue. It did take a little extra work to redo the plates and bricks on the inside, but that final appearance will be well worth the extra effort. There's something about glowing eyes in a sculptural creation that really looks cool to me. The forge would theoretically be super hot, so we want to have a logical exit for all that extra heat and smoke. But we still want to include a small side entry point on the upper level so the dwarves can easily add more fuel and raw materials to burn in the fires below. One detail I was thinking about while building was the sand green itself. Does it make sense in this context? It's supposed to be cut and polished stone. I thought it was probably possible for natural stones to be such a nice green color, but I wanted to be sure. Thankfully, I know a true expert on the things down below, and I reached out to my buddy, Geology Joe. He was able to give me a ton of information. He suggested that the stones could be aventurine or fuchsitic quartzite, which is a super strong and brilliant green rock. How cool is that? Now that the MOC is almost complete, it's time to put some Dwarven minifigures in it to really bring it to life. I've got a number of characters made. I don't think I need too many figures, just enough to fill the scene nicely. My buddy Andy is probably the biggest dwarf fan that I know, and he loaned me his personal sig fig to use in the scene. He was able to answer a bunch of questions I had about Dwarven culture. A big thanks to my buddy Andy for helping make this video possible. Well, I was expecting to like building a Dwarven themed creation, but man, I particularly enjoyed this one. It turned out exactly as planned, and using sand green ended up being the perfect choice. There were tons of excellent pieces from this color in my collection to work with, and it looks fantastic. We were significantly over our planned building time. Almost 16 hours of construction is a lot more than our estimated 12, but I think that it was totally worth it. This build will last for many months and see thousands of LEGO fans at conventions. I'm glad that I put in the extra effort and time to finish it as I wanted. I seem to be building a lot of sci-fi lately, but this little foray back into a medieval adjacent theme, this is more fantasy, but it's kind of got some medieval vibes, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this, so I might have to lean into some more fantasy style themes in the future, especially if this video does well. Well, I think that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video. It helps the algorithm a lot. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. I do lots of LEGO videos here on the channel. Comment below what you think of this build and what you think I should build next. I really want to get some Spyrius out of the way, but I'm also thinking more fantasy style stuff would be good too. Let me know. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.